Welcome to Stitchless, Circle Optics in Focus, our behind-the-scenes deep dive into the vision, technology, leadership, and integration that makes Circle Optics a pioneer in real-time panoramic imaging. I am your host, Jennifer Sertle, VP of Marketing. This special feature of 360 Pulse podcast takes you into the heart of what we are doing, pushing the boundaries of imaging technology and redefining what is possible. In this 4-part series, we explore the why behind our process. I just want all of you to know that once a quarter, we are going to be dropping more of these conversations, but as we drop into episode 4 for this particular series, we're really going to be talking about bridging hardware and software and integrated solutions. And one of the neat things about our Chief Operating Officer, Ian Gauger, is his background. He comes from being an architect. And I think that architects in general have the ability to take white paper and build it into a cathedral or just create things and create scale with them. And so I am very excited to actually start this particular segment with Ian. How's that sound, Ian?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So how does Circle Optics integrate hardware and software for better imaging solutions?
Yeah, when we first started, we were, very hyper-focused on the hardware with kind of this thesis that with our better hardware, we're going to be able to eliminate a lot of the software processes or significantly, reduce the strain on them, which is proven to be true. But I think what we learned along the way is we're enabling something else by being able to eliminate the stitching process and reduce the processing power. We now have all this available processing power that can be used for some really interesting applications. Really important on the edge things like the DAA that we're doing with NASA. So detect and avoid, creating tracks of things that are out there in the air so you can real time avoid collisions, or even photogrammetry to create 3D models of spaces rapidly. And it's those types of applications that we're now building on top of our hardware that makes us really unique.
That's great. And what are the biggest challenges in bridging optics? And I know you have a big vision for our software team is going to be expanding. So again, what are the biggest challenges in bridging the optics and this new level of software and AI in particular?
Yeah, AI is rapidly evolving here and kind of taking the world by storm, and it's one of those things where it's coming. There's nothing any of us can do to try to delay or stop that. There's some potential threats of AI. AI is doing amazing things with creating content and videos, but I think one of the things that will set us apart, obviously, is things created by AI, they're creations. They're not real, and what we capture, there's some truth there, and it's the real world. And, I think that's one of the things that's so important about what we're doing. But at the same time, I think we have the ability to also, not just resist the AI, but enable AI, because AI runs on data. And the better the data you have, the better the result you're going to get from the AI. And, if we're capturing more data and higher quality data of the world, that is all data that can feed into AIs to make, better models in the future.
That's great. Thank you. And I'm going to move over to our Chief Operating Officer, actually our founder and CEO, Zak. How does integration lead to better user experience for some of our use cases, including AR, VR? I see GIS here, and by the way, I can't remember what GIS stands for. Can you remind me? Is that geospatial imaging?
Information systems.
Okay. Geospatial imaging systems. Right.
Information systems.
Okay. Can you just tell me, Ian, what is GIS?
GIS stands for Geospatial Information Systems.
Oh, yes. I love it. And of course, for the Department of Defense. So how does integration lead to a better user experience, please?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say the integration of our products really helps. When it comes to the DoD government customers, it's about situational awareness products. So having panoramic vision for situational awareness, where you're trying to detect and track targets across a very wide area, the wider your field of view is, the better off you are. And they've been trying to work with a variety of panoramic cameras for, over 10 years, 10, 20 years. And they've tried multiple different products under the sun, but you always have some sort of trade-off. So we were hearing from a customer the other day that, for a wide field of view distortion camera, that's unacceptable to them because basically when you go and you're detecting something, let's say at sea, you can see very clearly in the center of the field of view, but as you drift off towards the edges, that quality degrades. So that's kind of unacceptable to most users. When it comes to multi-camera systems and pairing them together to get a wide panoramic field of view, that also has complexities and also has trade-offs, like having to stitch the elements together, have errors where the cameras join, and that creates complexities and issues for these situational awareness products. So there's never been a product for the DoD that lets you open up that field of view for enhanced situational awareness, a wider field of view across the entire horizon, but that doesn't come with those trade-offs, one kind or another. So they've been kind of stuck back in having to use either the systems that have the trade-offs or products with inferior quality in terms of more reduced field of view. So what our integration of our products at Circle Optics does for DoD and government customers is it lets you have your cake and eat it too. You don't have to have those trade-offs as you're integrating these wider field of view products into your capabilities, which opens up a completely new world. If you can tell that integrator that suddenly that wider field of view doesn't come with something that is also a detraction and a friction point. And that really applies to everywhere these panoramic cameras could be used in the future. From robotics, applications, aerospace, other types of things. It's really about opening up the field of view of these systems without the trade-offs. And I think integrators, once that's available to them at a price point that they can afford, then it's largely going to be an easy decision in terms of adoption for a lot of customers. I think in the future, when you have that option open up to you.
It's exciting, and I think one of the hardest things about being an entrepreneur is really how you have the long view and you feel it, and our sense of time has to change a little bit. When I started the team, I thought it would be maybe 2 to 3 year exit, and working with hardware, software, and imaging and mechanical, it really is a long view strategy. And then I just want to go back to Ian. I know the word synergy is really important to you, and as you were designing the DNA of the company, I know that synergy was one of the major words. Do you want to talk a little bit about being in the region and what synergy means to you and for Circle Optics, please?
Synergy is important internally within a team to make sure everyone's on the same page and working together towards the same goals. But as a startup, you need to have synergy with your customer needs and your stakeholders. We also have a lot of vendors and suppliers that help enable us in what we're doing. We don't make every component of our lens in-house ourselves. So we have literally dozens of vendors who we work closely with, and it's very important that we're on the same page. We can't afford to have something come in not to spec and have to be remade when, some of these optics have 3 to 4 month lead times. So, we've got contractual obligations that we have on our contracts with the DoD and NASA that, we're going to be delivering hardware in a certain period of time. And if something were to come in not spec, it could absolutely, destroy our ability to deliver on time. So it's really important to, be clear, communicate well. And, when you find vendors who, and, stakeholders who have that synergy with you, you just got to hold on to them tight.
That's great. We have just a couple more minutes. Is there anything in this particular initial series of Stitchless, Circle Optics, and Focus? Is there anything else that either of you want to say to one another or our audience?
In general, I think we're excited for building a community of people that are going to watch this show to learn the latest in defense, government applications of vision products, and what the latest is in technology as it applies to situational awareness. Wide field of view imaging, panoramic imaging for these different applications.
I just want everyone to know that our team is absolutely accessible. You can find Ian Gauger and also Zak Niazi on LinkedIn. You can find me, Jennifer Sertle, on LinkedIn as well. You can email us at info@circleoptics.com. And we hope, one is that we hope that you're hungry to learn what are the applications in wide field of view. We hope you are hungry to see if there's anyone on your team that really, we actually got some feedback from some people that have left some of the larger companies that they love to be on the team because they can see their impact immediately and they can actually shape the technology of the future. So we really, really hope that you reach out to us. We would love you to subscribe to our program, share our program, and let us know what you think. Thank you for joining us.